and students is the Kramer, so I'm guessing you can do that in the prologue. So we'll try to do that first.
Limitless. The ability to break free. To experience golf in ways you never thought possible. Taking your game to levels once only dreamed of. Welcome to the next generation of golf. This is EA Sports Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. Hello again, everyone. This is Rich Lerner here to walk you through some lessons on how to play.
Okay, right, let's go on. Oh man, come on, I've seen this already. Over 5 balls. Let's in the game.
So many historic moments have played out before our eyes in major championships, and today, two of the top players in the world are set to tee off. Rory McIlroy holding a one-shot lead over Martin Kaymer. It's the final round of the U.S. Open Championship at Chambers Bay.
Going into, the final round of any golf tournament with a chance to win, especially a major championship, it's a huge pump. That's the only way I can describe it. It's the best feeling a golfer can have because you're in the mix and you're in with a chance to win one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's an incredible feeling. It's something that you may only get to experience a handful of times in your life. So, that atmosphere, you want to soak it in as much as you can and really enjoy it.
Rory McIlroy coming off a strong performance yesterday, now making his way to that first tee box and looking to add another major championship trophy to his already growing collection.
And Rich, there's no doubt both golfers will be nervous until they get that very first tee shot under their belt.
The first tee shot is probably the most difficult because you've been thinking about that shot since the night before. Once you get that first shot out of the way, you calm down, you're a little more settled, you're not quite as anxious or nervous, and you sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Well, here he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open champion, about to tee off on what should be an historic day of golf alongside the beautiful Puget Sound. Frank looked like a nice balanced swing.
Well, the free-flowing action that we find synonymous with Rory McIlroy in display, even under the nervousness of an opening tee shot in the final round of the U.S. Open, and just blitzed it down the fairway.
That one carried a long way, stayed up in the sky forever.
28 sports points.
Perfect lie here, Frank. What's Rory got?
I expect something just slightly right of the flag. You want to avoid the hill and the bunkers on the right. And there's a little bit of a gut or a chasm just over that left side of the green. So left, not a good option.
About 145 yards away. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet. So a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
Opportunity to put pressure on Kaymer right out of the gate.
It's uphill, Rich. It should, if anything, move to the right. Just depends on the speed of this putt, whether it's left edge or outside.
I love it.
Excellent start, Rory McIlroy. What a nice putt.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second. McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. And I know it's early, but this is the type of putt that can really generate some momentum for the rest of the day.
Well, this putt's only 12 feet, Rich, but it's downhill.
Wait, mate.
And because of that, it's going to be very, very fast. You're almost going to putt this like it's only about 8 feet long. Allow the speed of the green to take it the extra distance.
So
Not that time, but not for lack of effort.
Too red.
Wouldn't call it a pressure-packed spot in this round, but you could sense that McIlroy knew with another birdie to start, he could have really applied some heat to Martin Kaymer. After an impressive drive, Rory just 165 yards out, faced with this uphill approach shot.
He's going to play closer to about 175 yards, though, Rich, because of that uphill. So probably an extra club. But Rory, even though he grew up in Northern Ireland, where it's windy, is a naturally high ball hitter.
Whoa, stop.
No, it's a good strike. Good swing by McIlroy. And no problem finding the putting surface.
Alright, quit on.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
There's some times when there might be a wait on a tee box, or you've played your shot and you're waiting on your playing partners to hit their shots, and you just look around and you realize where you are, because you don't really, you don't appreciate it that much whenever you're playing, and that's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to win a golf tournament and not really, taking in the beauty.
Again, achievement, mate.
Rory set to tee off here on the long par 3 9th hole, appropriately named Olympus for its high perch above the course. Really a stunning view.
It's right now about club selection, whether to hit 1 or 2 clubs less than what the yardage is showing right now. We're at least 100 feet above here. And you're going to want to sit up on the left side of that green. Have to avoid that menacing bunker on the right.
This is a good-looking shot.
Oh, beauty, mate.
Safely aboard.
Good birdie, come on.
Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Now McIlroy is the chaser, looking up at Martin Kaymer, and that is no easy task, playing a U.S. Open and chasing the likes of a Martin Kaymer. Plus, a difficult shot coming up here at the 15th.
It's going to require a great flop shot to get the ball up so quickly and get it to stop in such a short space is going to take every bit of skill.
Solid play, heart of the green.
Rich, you get that feeling if there's going to be a moment, I think that moment is now.
Trying to clean this up, make his par. Come on.
Oh, come
Don't
on.
do that.
Really?
Cruel
Bogey? No.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. And he takes care of business there.
Solid strike.
Bogey.
Final few holes to play, especially of a major championship like the US Open. It's what you've worked so hard for. It's what, you've put all those hours of practice in for, and this is your moment. This is your moment to see what you've got against the best players in the world and test yourself at the ultimate level. There's obviously a lot of pressure, You know, you don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by. You don't want to let it slip. So just stay really focused, really concentrated. Try to take one shot at a time. Try and put the result out of your mind. Control what you can control. But saying that is difficult with so many things going on around you, whether it be the crowd or it could be the person that you're going up against. You know, there's so many things that you can't control, but you know, the things that you can control, that's what you have to concentrate on, and that's what you have to try and, you know, do to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, that's what gives you the best chance to try and win a huge tournament like the US Open.
Yeah, well done.
You couldn't ask for much more than what we have right here. Two former US Open champions, 17th hole, tied for the lead, Martin Kaymer and Rory McIlroy.
And Rich, it's easy to remember these types of situations, and it's as much about mental toughness as anything right now. The 17th hole is named Derailed, and I'm sure it's a great test for both men's mental toughness. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in a rough, it looks like. And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
And setting up here in the rough.
Oh!
That one was running so high. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot.
Oh! Oh, my son.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Bit unfortunate, loses a shot here with that bogey.
Bogey.
One hole left to play here at the United States Open Championship. It all comes down to this. Frank, what does Rory need to do here off the tee?
Well, he has a big advantage, Rich. It's unusual actually to have a par 5 in a US Open as a finishing hole. He's slightly longer than Kaymer off the tee, so he has more chance of reaching this par 5 in 2.
What a great drive on the final hole.
Got this, bro. We got this.
Frank, the great thing about these major championships is the slow build-up to moments just like this, and then it gets really tense.
It's a dream scenario, Rich. You just dream that you're going to have the two best players in the game, buying it out, coming down to the very last hole. That's exactly what we have right now. So far, they've provided great golf. It's going to take something even better than that right now to determine who's going to win.
What a shot. I mean, McIlroy just aired it out.
If there was any risk there, it certainly didn't look like it.
Could hear a pin drop right now. It all comes down to this. This is for the US Open. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Buddy. Come on, get buddy, man.
McIlroy now trying to apply a little pressure to Martin Kaymer. This is for birdie.
Oh.
And just slides by. And only a tap in left. Good putt. And he's putting for par now.
Yeah.
The door was open, but Martin Kaymer slammed it shut. Kaymer, the US Open champion yet again.